Hey everybody, welcome back to the Women's Football Podcast. Kerys Harrop has been a regular on our FIFA Women's World Cup podcast, and this week she announced her retirement from professional football and she leaves as a record holder for most appearances in the WSL. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Kerys. How are your emotions right now?
Yeah, they're feeling good. I was probably a bit more emotional yesterday. Obviously, released the news in the morning, and then just getting all the messages, messages of support. And I think until people write things, you don't realise like how much people like you as a footballer, as a person. So yeah, it was. I think the most emotional I got was reading the article that Birmingham City women put out, because obviously that was where I played the longest part of my career. So that was probably the one that reduced me to tears. And then after that, I was all right.
It must be nice to see how much of an impact you've had on so many different clubs and people, though.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, yeah, yeah. It's I did a lot of like work with kids, especially while I was at Birmingham. So I ran this like club development program, so that was a very rewarding part of being a footballer. Doing that extra job. But yeah, even like adults as well. And you had like random people messaging me on Instagram, and they were sending through pictures that I'd taken with their daughters, like after games, and they'd put messages underneath like, "Oh, you're really inspired. Thank you for inspiring my daughter. She wants to play for Birmingham one day or Spurs." So I think that's the most rewarding part of it for me.
What was behind your decision to retire, and kind of why was it now that you decided to?
Yeah, I mean, so whilst I've played football, I've always done lecturing alongside. I've always done that at least once or twice a week, and yeah, basically, like a full-time position came up at one of the universities I was teaching at. So because that's obviously my lifelong career, it's not something I could really turn down. So yeah, that was definitely the biggest factor. Just a good opportunity came up, which would have been difficult to balance that alongside playing football. But I'll be honest as well, like one of the other factors was just seeing him out of like serious injuries this year, like ACL injuries. I just thought I really don't want an injury like that at this point in my career. So that was definitely like a factor, and that was kind of playing on my back of the back of my mind in games last season towards the end. And you can't go into any game as a footballer having that worry. Just it kind of probably affects your performance a little bit. So that was a factor. And yeah, I just think, yeah, I was just ready. I've got other exciting opportunities as well as the lecturing, that I was just ready to move on. I think that's a good position to be in as a footballer, that you're happy to retire. I
Yeah.
didn't ever want to be in a position where I was like chasing the last contract, or desperately trying to just find something. And I think as well, like, I wanted to finish on a high, with the WSL record and finishing at the top of my game. So yeah, as you can tell, there was quite a few factors. So it's definitely the right time, and I made the right decision.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like you just mentioned, then you're definitely going out on a high, leaving as the WSL record appearance holder. How does that feel? That must feel amazing.
Yeah, no, someone I'm very proud of. Obviously in the post I did, I wrote like a letter to my younger self, and yeah, I would never have dreamed of that. When I was young, that I'd be, the record holder. I mean, it won't last for long. So obviously there's a few girls like Millie Brighton, I think Sophie Ingle, not far behind, but it's still cool to say that I at least got there, and retired on that. So yeah, it's definitely something I'm really proud of.
What do you think you're gonna miss most about playing professional football? And also, what's been your career highlight?
Um, I think in terms of what I'm going to miss, definitely be just being around like teammates and staff. I love like the camaraderie, and just being in that team environment is something. I'm quite a sociable, bubbly person, so just being around all those people. I think just playing the game, I love it. But the saying that though is weird, because I literally haven't kicked a ball since the season finished, so I can't obviously can't miss it that much. But yeah, just obviously the way the game's going now as well, with the big occasions like the games at stadiums, and just all those cool opportunities that come with women's football now that didn't exist, when I first started out. I miss those big games. I always like playing in front of the big crowds. So yeah, I'll miss that. But I'll definitely still be involved. I'll be going down to games, as well as lecturing. There's other ways in which I'm going to stay in football. So yeah, I'll still be involved. And in terms of my career highlights, there's a couple. I think for Birmingham, it was obviously definitely like winning the FA Cup in 2012. like getting to the Champions League semi-final. That was brilliant. And to do that with my hometown club was really special. And then like with England, like winning the under-19 Euros, again, that was like just amazing. I think just anything that involved winning trophies, I think was always a highlight.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I got loads, even like the stuff off the pitch as well, like inspiring the girls. That there's some of the real good moments with that as well. But in terms of on the pitch, I'll probably say those two.
You've been in the WSL since it started, and like you just alluded to then, it's changed so much in the last 10 years since it's been up and running. And obviously, we can see that with the World Cup that's just gone. From being there to the start to now retiring, how different has it been for you? Like, how has it been to be a part of the journey of women's football coming forward?
Yeah, people always say to me like, now I've retired, like, do you wish you'd have started out your career now? Like now there's money involved and all that. But actually, no. Like I really enjoyed the time. Like to say, yeah, start of the WSL. Um, like the camaraderie was better, and you could probably get away with a bit more. It was obviously less professional. So like, just some of the things that we had to deal with were funny, and just the way we went about things was funny. But yeah, no, the growth. I think back to the start of the WSL, we'd maybe have 100 people watching, maybe a couple of hundred. Obviously now you were selling out men's stadiums, and it's all on TV. I'm even watching like Good Morning Britain this morning. There's one of the older guys. He's on there regularly, and he's talking about Mary Earps and the shirt and how well the Lionesses did. And just I've played Mary before, and just to like have people talking about it, it's just amazing. When I watched the semi-final in this pub in the middle of this village, and there was people coming in from their bike rides, stopping off to watch the game, like men and women. So yeah, just like the interest in it now is just amazing, especially off the back of the Euros. But yeah, that's just brilliant, And what game? I was at the Euros last summer, and just it was like emotional for me to see a packed out Wembley,
Yeah.
because just I never dreamed it would actually get to that point, but it's only going to get bigger and better now. Hopefully there'll be more like investment, more big sponsors coming on board. Like I think I've seen like Sheffield United women have got like Autoglass on board. That was announced today, and just like big companies like that coming on board now, even at championship level, is brilliant. So it's only going to get bigger and better.
Yeah. And it must be so proud for you to have been a part of it, especially at the start.
Yes, I'm not. I'm like. I'm not even like the true pioneers. You've got people like when Hope Powell used to play, or Pauline Cope, Mo Marley, Kelly Smith. All those players, Faye White from back in the day. These are all like the role models that I looked up to. But yeah, I'd like to say I've still played my part, and because I've been around the game for a long time. And I just hope like the younger girls remember that, and they stay like humble and modest, and although there's money now being injected to the game, just not to get too greedy with it, because there's players who like me or players before me who we never got paid. We would not get the occasional like £50 win bonus in a brown packet, like just get the cash. But yeah, we until recently never got paid to play professionally. So I just hope like the women still stay humble, and still interact with the fans, and just keep the women's game as it is. It's slightly different to the men's in that sense.
Well, it sounds to me like you've been a role model to even a couple of girls, which I think is such a big achievement in itself anyway, even if you don't think you have.
Yeah, no. It's like to get seeing the comments, and yeah, even through the sister club work that I did for Birmingham. I've impacted thousands. So I'd like to think at least a couple were inspired. But that's what it's all about for me. I've left that kind of legacy, hopefully off the pitch, not just
Yeah.
on it as well. And I hope that players continue to do that. The game still needs to grow, and we still need to attract the fan bases. So just those little interactions with like fans and younger girls makes a huge difference to them coming back and becoming lifelong fans. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm hoping the players will continue to do that.
You mentioned obviously the new job opportunity. What else is next for you now that you've retired from professional football?
Yeah, that'll take up a large part. Like the lecturing, it's in football coaching. So yeah, I'm kind of helping to like develop the next generation of coaches and performance analysts. We got a lot of our students go on to be performance analysts. So that's one thing. Hopefully a bit more media work. It's quite difficult to break into, but I've been doing a few bits here and there, so maybe do some more of that. And yeah, just like I've got some other opportunities as well. One of them is a bit more of a surprise, which I'll announce a bit later on. But yeah, you'll be working. Just want to mentor like players coming through the younger generations and just tell them the realities of what it's like to be a professional footballer. I really want to encourage the dual career because it's helped me and put me in a good position. Now I'm retiring that I can, walk straight into a well-paid job, and it's something I'm really passionate about. So I definitely want to work with younger players in that as well, like a player mentor.
Yeah. Before I let you go, if you could sum up your professional experience in one word, what would it be?
Awesome.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us, and congratulations on your new job, and thank you for everything you've done for the women's game as well. And thank you so much for chatting. It's been really nice to catch up with you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.